I decided I wanted to be a comedian. But then,
I love him.
I talk a lot, so everyone told me I should be a politician, so I decided to go right down the middle and be a minister. Yeah. My name is Dusty Dione. I am the high priest of the Mother Church in Index for the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. I'm also the high summoner of the entire church. See, in our tradition, you have the high priestess and high priest, then you have the summoner and the maiden, and they're de facto high priest, high priestess when the high priest, high priestess are gone. When the high priest and the high priestess are there, the maiden's job is to deal with basically the running of the local church while the high priestess deals with ritual and taking care of the spiritual needs. The summoner's job is to deal with cops. That's what we do. If the police come to the door, the summoner makes sure that they're the ones that talk to them. Additionally, their job is to be the mediator for anybody in the church that feels like they have a problem with the leadership.
Because that never happens.
Because it's incredibly difficult to decide that you're going to go tell the high priestess that you got a problem with her. Way easier to go to the person whose job it is to be on your side for when you have to talk to the high priestess or high priest. So my job is, yes,
What happens when you're married to them?
Suck it up. Additionally, as the high summoner, my job is to help all the other summoners across the ATC if they have questions on how to do their job. Okay, so welcome to my class. Now you know who I am. I'm also the beautiful wife to my husband, Belladonna Laveau. It's true. Anyway, so my class today is practical shapeshifting, and if you'll have to excuse me, I've got notes. I don't usually teach with notes. I haven't actually taught this class in about 5 years, so I just have them over here. If you see me like, oh, hold on, you guys, just bear with me. So, practical shapeshifting. Does anybody that I haven't already told it to have any idea what this might entail? Yeah?
Being able to adjust the way you are perceived by others around you, depending on the situation you're in.
Give this person a third degree. Come on.
Already done.
Cords and ropes and all kinds of things.
Already happened.
Okay, you can say. So, every day that we move through the world, we go to schools, we go to work, we meet with our parents, we meet with our kids, we meet with our other kids' parents, we meet with principals and maybe the law, or maybe we work in a high-profile job, or we're having to deal with people all day, maybe sales. And every time that we find ourselves in these experiences, we have to reinvent ourselves. There's exceptions to every rule, okay? But most of us do not present the same face to every person that we meet, right? So, I'm going to read this just because this is ridiculous and I don't want to mess it up. So, it says, I know perfectly confident and capable adults who are still terrified of their parents. So, they may be lesbian witches with tattoos all over their body and a weekly spot at the Red Door in Atlanta. That's an adult club. They may be doming under the name Mistress Spikeheel. But when they are around their mother, they wear turtlenecks and no makeup, and they say, yes, ma'am, and they're very subservient. I cannot believe I wrote that. It literally says that here. So, it says, Mistress Spikeheel is a shapeshifter. So, it just seems like normal behavior to us that you would act differently in front of your mom than you would in front of your kids, than you would in front of your lover, than you would in front of someone you don't like. You're not going to show the same face to everybody, but we don't really think about it. We're so adept at doing this work that it just comes incredibly naturally to us. So, I want you to think for a second about how you're a shapeshifter, okay? So, here we go. We're going to start with a scenario, all right? You're waking up, and you get out of bed. It's an important meeting today. So as soon as you get out of bed, you start thinking, oh, what am I going to do for my meeting? Okay, I need to make sure that I get ready. Tom said that he absolutely needed those papers, so I'm going to have to get those. But then I got to talk to Carol, and I absolutely hate Carol. She never gives me what I want. I'm going to have to bring her chocolate. Okay, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to get ready. So you didn't wake up and say, I need to shapeshift into all these things. But you are. You're waking up, and maybe for that first couple seconds after the alarm goes off, you're actually you. The you with no pretenses. The you who hasn't put on any faces yet. But it only lasts about 30 seconds before your day comes flooding in and all the things that you've got to do in that day. And so you immediately start transforming yourself into these things. So the only real you is the you when no one's around. No one you know has ever seen the real you. Nobody. Everyone you've ever talked to, you've had some reservation, you've had some change, you've done something to make them comfortable. Who here thinks manners are important? Best description of this I've ever heard. Manners are the art of making other people comfortable. So, manners are the art of shape-shifting, making yourself palatable for everyone else around you. So, as soon as our feet hit the floor, we start thinking, who are we going to see? Where are we going to go? How do we need to act? How do we need to dress? So let's turn the scenario around a little bit. You no longer find yourself going to a board meeting. You find yourself in a bad part of the town that you were raised in. Okay? Let's say, you think of your hometown. Think of the worst neighborhood. Okay? You find yourself walking there. Now, let's imagine that this is your old stomping grounds. You know all these people. It's not dangerous to you. I mean, it's dangerous to some people. It's definitely dangerous to people that aren't from there. But it's not dangerous to you. You grew up there. But you moved. You just went to college for 4 years. In fact, you went to college to be a linguist. Okay? So you've worked super hard on your diphthongs. You've worked super hard on making sure that you get all of your pronunciations correctly. Now you don't even sound like you're from there anymore. Okay? So, you go back. You don't even look the same anymore. 4 years in college, you look completely different. Your hair's purple, it's spiked. You found yourself, right? So you don't even look the same anymore. So when you get there, someone comes up to you. And they say, hey man, you're in the wrong neighborhood. You aren't supposed to be here. I don't know who you think you are. My crib's right there. Your crib's going to be in the ground right there if you don't tell me why you deserve to be here. Now here's my question to you. Do you go, oh, well, I'm very sorry, sir. You see, I was raised in this town, and I've been gone for a while, and I realize that I may not look like I belong here, but I assure you that I was grown up right there on Park and 3rd.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. What you're going to do is go, oh, man, I've been gone forever, man. Are you John's brother? Man, you look just like him. Yeah, I grew up right down the street over there. You go to Central and 3rd? Yeah, I went to Central and 3rd. Man, that school was terrible. You remember Miss Hightower? Man, that woman was terrible. Okay. They all of a sudden go, oh, man, you're from here. But you had to change back. You had to shapeshift into something so that you wouldn't be beat up, mugged, who knows what. And so their response goes, oh, my bad, man. I remember you. You were that cat that put that baloney on his head and ran down the street naked. I remember that. That was crazy. And you go, yeah, that was me. And then you can shapeshift back and go, watch this. Well, hello, everybody. I've been studying linguists over at Emory University for the past 4 years. Don't I sound great? And they go, man, no, you sound dumb. But now all of a sudden, you've made the scenario safe for yourself because you were able to mold yourself into what these people needed. So, let's see real quick. Hey, don't huff at me. I just already covered all this stuff, and I want to make sure I hit it all. So, these are our inherent talents as human beings. Our holy scriptures back it up. Some holy scriptures, particularly ones from Abrahamic religions, talk about how we are put here to be the masters of all the plants and animals on the earth, right? There is absolutely no creature on the entire planet except for us that can insert itself into any animal's social structure and become its leader. You ever seen a bunny take over a wolf pack? You ever seen a human take over a wolf pack? Yeah. You ever seen a giraffe take over a pod of dolphins? You ever seen a human take over a pod of dolphins?
Yeah.
You can get a pod of dolphins to do what you say. I guarantee it. I guarantee that you can change yourself into such a way that that pod of dolphins will be jumping on their tail through the water and through hoops. Giraffe can't do that. Every single one of us is inherently a shapeshifter. The crocodile hunter, okay? He could literally, except for stingrays, we're not going to get into that.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Yeah.
Far too soon.
He had the innate ability to put himself into the shoes of all these different animals, know what they were thinking, know how they acted, know their mannerisms, the way they needed to move so as not to be threatening, know the way to move so as to be threatening, so as to save himself. But he wasn't that all the time. He wasn't always the crocodile hunter. Sometimes he was the guy teaching things at the zoo. Sometimes he was a dad. Sometimes he was a husband. Sometimes he was just a dude at the store. Sometimes he was like, oh, please leave me alone, I'm not the crocodile hunter, right? Which is still him changing himself. So we're going to do an exercise where I'm going to pretend to be different people, okay? Now, I'm not going to shapeshift. What you're all going to do is close your eyes for me, okay? Just get comfortable. So what you're going to do is I'm going to tell you I am certain different people. And you're going to see how you, in your mind's eye, would interact with me, okay? I am a police officer pulling you over. Now I'm a homeless man on the road asking you for money. Now I'm a business partner at a rival law firm. Now I'm your child asking you why you were being so loud in your bedroom last night. Now I'm your best friend and I ask you why you were being so loud in your bedroom last night. Now I'm your mother and I'm asking you why you were being so loud in your bedroom last night. Now I'm your high school principal. I'm the ghost of your grandmother walking in the room. I am a busy street corner filled with people. I am an assailant robbing you on the street. Now I am your dojo sensei. I am a child lost in the park. I'm your high school rival. I am a lone beach at sunrise with no one around. I am that super sexy famous person that you were enamored with, and I'm striking up a conversation with you. I'm your lover. All right, come back to me. How did you change for each of those? Was there a distinct change on how you interacted with every single one of those people and scenarios? Did you ever act the same for any of two of those? You were a completely different person. So, why? Self-preservation. Our number one job is to thrive. And you cannot thrive if you are rigid. That which is rigid breaks and snaps. It can't exist. But the willow bends and it moves with the wind. It deals with floods and with earthquakes. And it changes itself to each one of these scenarios. And so they get big. They last for a really long time. Willows grow forever. So now we know why and when we shapeshift, but we don't necessarily yet know how to hone our ability. So this is another one of the things that I'm going to read, because this is important, okay? And I'm sorry, my great teacher who has taught me from day one to memorize everything and never read off paper. I hope I was not able to shapeshift into that for you today.
It's not paper.
Oh, it's not paper. Never mind. So, we don't know yet in this class how to turn this from a response to an ability. Okay? The difference between a response and an ability is a person's own power to control it. I may be able to win a fight because of my reactions, but if I'm not trained and am fighting with my instincts, then at most I am showing talent. But in no way am I showing ability. It's the difference between an X-Men with a mutant power who is just exploding and uncontrolled to one that's been working with Professor X and has learned their secondary mutation and has learned how to control themselves. Responses are a good thing. They show us where we may have natural talent. And talent's a good thing. One can achieve any ability that one has talent for. Shape-shifting is an ability. One must develop the skill to be good at it. And not all of us are talented in shape-shifting, but luckily all of us are born with this ability as a response. Our response to thrive in our situations. We're all able to decide how to present ourselves in any given situation. And in fact, when we can't, it's considered a dysfunction. We get medicine for it. They tell us that we're not quite right because we're not able to understand that scream in this situation. We don't say these particular things in this situation. And if we can't and if you can't understand not to do that, we can't understand you because we are fluid beings. You know, we say, oh, we're 80% water. There's a reason. Because we have the ability of fluidity in our world. Imagine the things that you could accomplish if you were able to become at least knowledgeable of any skill through just thought. Well, guess what? You do have that ability. You absolutely have that ability. Now, you might not have the ability to be a master at sewing when you don't know how to do it. But you, and especially you magical individuals, have the ability to draw that energy down and at least become passable at just about everything. You can go, come on, Akashic Records, I need to know how to sew a cross stitch. Okay, okay, and then beat one out, right? Make one happen. Excuse me. Word levels, losing my place. Okay. Your new skills that you draw down might not hit full-blown talent level, or a bit, anyway, full-blown ability level, but moving from response to talent in a move as simple as shifting your consciousness is a bonus skill that is invaluable that each one of you have. Imagine the things that you could accomplish if you were able to become at least knowledgeable of any skill. It's entirely possible. So all you need to do to get better at this is to tell the universe that you want to get better at this. So I have to shapeshift to be a shapeshifter? Yes. Yes, you do. That simple. Yes. You need to tell the universe if that's what you want to do, and then you need to work toward it. It even says, that is right, my duckies. So, a bird that never learns to fly isn't living to its full potential. We have to produce and see our abilities happen so that we can cement the fact that we know how to do them within ourselves. Turn that off for a second. Very simply put, and this is the end of my class. It's not a super long class, but I hope that it was a poignant class for you. Very, very simply put, you have the ability to do everything. You are God, you are goddess. You just need to know that you are. And you just need to allow yourself to be it. Don't second guess yourself. Who here understands quantum mechanics? Anybody understand any quantum mechanics at all? The smallest building blocks of life, when observed, do something very amazing. They do exactly what you think they're going to do. If you go, that should move left, it does. That should move right, it does. That should be a wave, it's a wave. That should be a particle, it's a particle. That is what happens at the smallest level of existence. You can control those small bits of reality. And since big bits of reality are made up of little bits of reality, you can do everything. Everything. There is no limit. You are a limitless being who can change itself into being God, into being goddess, or into being detritus. It's all up to you. And so I leave you with that, and I hope that for you, this helps supercharge that part of yourself so that you can truly become everything. Blessings.